All right, you want this one?
Yeah.
Okay, here we go.
Is the institution of marriage beneficial to women? No. Why would a patriarchal society create an institution that was designed for the benefit of women? That actually doesn't make any sense. Before capitalism and before the state, people lived in communities and not just people being sequestered in little ticky-tacky boxes alone in their little tiny families. The lack of genuine community keeps us vulnerable. It keeps us controllable. And it's also actively dangerous for women. When you separate women from each other and then you put them alone with a man who can also be her greatest threat, she is more likely to be abused because no one is watching. When women live amongst other women, they are physically safer and emotionally more supported. The patriarchy is why women are given the emotional burden of being the people who are containing the family and doing all that invisible labor. I can't see it, but it's everywhere. The isolation of the family is part of a capitalist agenda.
God.
Huh?
Okay, so let's go back.
Not
Like,
even there.
yeah. So this is.
I didn't like that at all.
No, this is.
I felt
This is.
very
I mean, this is like, again, this is what the social media does. Like, again, she's talking about we lived in a community and now it's more easy to manipulate you while you're not in this community, while she's on TikTok making nonsensical stuff, showing off her mental illness. Like she can't see what she's literally
She
doing.
suffers from tics.
She's literally doing the thing that she's accusing everyone else of doing. Number one. Number two, the Institute of Marriage was so that families could have a tax-free combination of wealth. And it's also one of the reasons why in the Catholic Church, bishops can't marry is because they didn't want them inheriting wealth. They didn't want them inheriting land. That was the purpose of marriage. It's not to benefit men or not benefit women. That wasn't the case. And while there definitely has been a patriarchy for the last however many thousand years, since 1972, things have moved drastically in the opposite direction. And divorce absolutely does benefit women more than men. You cannot live in a world we've had James Sexton come on, divorce attorney. He goes over this over and over again. Women are absolutely incentivized to go for alimony, to go get half to get half the man's wealth. This is happening over and over again. People are, prenups are becoming a big thing. So this idea of what she's saying is like, so this is not evidence. Her saying, how could a patriarchy be made by, or a marriage be made by a patriarchy to benefit women? That makes no sense. That's not evidence. Her saying something doesn't make sense isn't evidence. And then when she started talking about, well, divorce now benefits women, he's like, oh no, this is men going deeper into their capitalistic nightmare. Well, aren't the laws also written by men? Like her logic doesn't even make sense. And so this is like two different things. This is part of the problem because she's expressing her mental illness, and she has the right to do it on this thing, her own. But it's one of these ridiculous things where, well, I said before in the beginning, when you just want to blame one side, and this is a situation where it's like, the answer is clearly that it is men's fault for all of this. And that's why there's a problem.
Well, she's retconning all of human history.
Correct. Marriage right now is way worse for men than it is women. And she has to do everything she can to distract you from that fact, and nothing short of getting on her ass and shaking her legs. Because she has to distract you from the reality that marriage right now is way, way worse for men than it is for women. Anybody?
I just did not enjoy that at all.
No, marriage in general.
It made me tired.
Much harder for men than it is for women.
I love it
because of the potential of divorce.
So one of the things that really bugs me about like this, I'm halfway joking about like retconning. Well, I'm not joking about retconning all of human history. The fact that she's popping off about how we used. I hate this narrative too, but it's how we used to live in these nice egalitarian, like hippie communes where everybody was just everybody else, and everybody was happy about it. And there was, it was just peace and love and happiness until some guys got together and decided, hey, dudes, let's all get together and create this thing called the patriarchy so we can like dominate women and just destroy the world. And like, as if that's something that would ever have happened. What she's ignoring is, I don't know, about 200,000 years of human evolution where we lived in small hunter-gatherer tribes. And we had a real propensity for going over to other tribes and beating the fuck out of them and taking their resources and taking their women and taking their taking all the whatever their spoils of war were at that time. And we would go and we would kill off all the men folk and all the boys, and we would take the women and reintegrate them into the conquering tribe's tribe. That's what human evolution, that's what human tribalism is all about. When we're talking, I think I mentioned this when I was talking about jealousy and the fact, and one of the reasons I am such a staunch opponent of this poly movement is because we still feel human jealousy. We still feel like if somebody, like men and women experience jealousy in completely different ways. If there's infidelity in a relationship, now why would you even form a relationship in the first place if we're all just peaceniks f***ing each other, right? But jealousy wouldn't exist if it weren't for the fact that men and women paired up together. And we formed monogamous relationships together. People always ask me this. They'll say, Rollo, do you think that polygyny or poly, for lack of a better word, is the natural state of human beings? Or is monogamy the natural state of human beings? And the answer is both. They can both be true at the same time. It just depends on if monogamy wasn't true, then we would not be able to care for our young. If we weren't promiscuous, then we wouldn't have biodiversity in the same way that we do right now. So there's all kinds of evolutionary biology reasons for this, anthropology, sociology, evolutionary psychology. She is wrong on so many accounts.
Yeah, the idea that the family,
I don't even know where to start.
I know, I lost track. Like the idea that the family unit was created through capitalism. What? There is nothing in the anthropological record that supports anything that this woman just said. But she kept saying it with such confidence while she was dancing. And it's just one of these things like, why is it evidence? Why is marriage bad for women? Because it wouldn't make sense otherwise. That's not evidence. That's not how it works.
Marriage is just a formalization of monogamy. That's all it is. It's like before we had the state involved. And by the way, Western European medieval cultures didn't have a monopoly on marriage, okay? It happened in feudal Japan. It happened in dynastic China. It happened in Native American cultures as well. Well before anybody knew anything about, Charlemagne, okay? I love it when people say, well, marriage exists because it was noble families getting together and trying to, establish political ties and everything. Yeah, but like serfs and like peons and peasants got married too. And it wasn't about forming alliances or anything like that. It's about formalizing monogamy is what it's been about until you get the state involved. And now it's become a multi-bajillion dollar, commercial industry in modern times.
Marriage, I think, does somewhat benefit low status men because they at least have one woman to be.
Yeah, exactly. Well, and that's another thing is like if you have if you have the choice between polygyny and monogamy is a stabilizing force in society because it means that you're not taking 4 and I get none, right? Yeah. So, and then I don't have to kill you and take one of your girls and my other boys.
That would never happen.
The remaining 3, right?
I would never take 4. Yeah, come on.
Okay.
That
I'm not that greedy.
Which one?
Oh yeah,
guys, this one's for you.